His young working-class parents struggled to support him and make ends meet. Unable to care for him, he was soon taken in by another couple, Paul and Clara. Their adopted son was fascinated by computers, even at a young age. However, he never liked formal education, so after dropping out of college after his first semester, he started working at a video game manufacturing company. A short time later, he built his first commercial computer for sale, and now it is the most valuable company in the world. Steve Jobs started Apple Computer when he was 21 years old. The son of a truck driver who barely made ends meet, they couldn't afford college, so he earned an athletic scholarship and landed a job at Xerox. Everything changed, however, when he stumbled on a small coffee shop named Starbucks. Howard Schultz has a net worth of $4.8 billion. Hi, this is The Business Guy, and I'm the CEO of Lawyers Limited and Asset Protection Planners, the largest asset protection company in the country, and have been for over 30 years. As such, I've had some unique exposure to billionaires around the world as they approach us to set up asset protection structures to protect themselves from lawsuits. I learned these 10 lessons from them, and I'm going to share these secrets with you. And if you appreciate these billionaire secrets, please help me out by clicking the like button below so YouTube promotes it. Thanks so much. And if you want the Business Guy videos to show up in your YouTube feed more frequently, please click the subscribe button. It's totally free to do, and when you click the notification bell when a new video comes out like this, you'll be notified right away. Billionaire trait number 1, no excuses. Realize you can succeed in spite of your circumstances. So the first billionaire trait is the realization that you can overcome all unfavorable conditions and become extraordinarily successful in business despite or maybe because of them. It's your inner workings that make you excel in business, not the conditions outside of you. The difference between millionaires and billionaires? Millionaires are strong to take their lives into their hands, but they still believe their success depends on favorable conditions. Billionaires know they have it inside of them, and they make it big in business independently of external factors. What does this mean? Well, for the car, the limit is given by its construction. For you, as an entrepreneur, it's given by your inner setup, your mindset, your belief system, your attitudes, your worldview, your motivations, your skills, your habits, your knowledge, and your personality. Billionaire trait number 2, they dream big. Kai-Dong Quinn, called the Chinese Walt Disney, stresses that you need to dare to dream and fight for it. Asked about the differences between millionaires and billionaires, he says, they have different goals which decide whether they will get going or feel satisfied with the status quo after they have reached the first level of success. That is what Frank Stonick, the Canadian billionaire and founder of Magna, confirms. He says, once you stop dreaming, you're a dead person. There are no limits in dreaming, it's unlimited. Stonick goes on to say, knowledge is limited. You must always have big dreams. Once you have a dream, then you daydream, and then you say what you have to do to maybe fulfill those dreams. Billionaire Ron Sim, who makes high-end massage chairs, says, if you're going to take a bite, take a really big bite. A really big bite so your mouth is full and there's blood running down the side of your mouth and your chin and onto your chest. That's what you should be doing. Do something big and worthwhile. If you're going to bother to take a bite, take a big bite. You do, you die. You don't do, you also die, right? You've got one bloody life, do your best and die. So if that's the case, then you should challenge yourself and maximize yourself. Leave a legacy as much as you can. There's a sense of achievement. I'm living for glory, the sense of achievement and what you can achieve before your run-out date comes. You create something and leave something behind. Billionaire Ron Sims goes on to say, how big is your heart? How big is the dream? That's the key difference. How big your heart is determines how big your vision is. And this, we know, determines how big your results will be. Billionaire trait number 3, a positive mindset. Optimists are the ones who accomplish everything. Pessimists don't accomplish anything. Pessimists just give you all the reasons why it's not going to work out. He goes on to say, quote, all of us are capable of far more than we think we are. We have so much inherent potential, so believe in yourself. Billionaire Tim Draper has a similar perspective, quote, anything that can be imagined can actually happen. I watched Star Trek when I was younger. There's a communicator, now there's the smartphone. There's a holodeck, it's virtual reality. The tricorder recording, that's happening as well. We pretty much have done everything except for space travel to all the different planets. One of his life mottos is, anything is possible. Number 4, they're problem solvers. Billionaires focus on solving problems, not on just making money. If you want to be successful in business, first find out a problem to solve, advises billionaire Philip Zhangvi. If you can solve a problem, that's currently unsolved, you can create interesting business opportunities. Don't start a business to make money as an objective. Money is just an outcome. Along those lines, a big billionaire motivation is winning. In order to win, you need to become the best. And for that to happen, you need to compete. He goes on to say, I kind of see life like this. You must be here for a purpose. So if you're here for a purpose, you've got to maximize and be as useful as you possibly can be and make something out of nothing for yourself, for your family, for your friends, for your people, and leave something behind that probably people can learn from. Billionaire trait number 5, they hire talented people. Sang V goes on to say, I don't think you're successful in business unless you understand people. One of my favorite subjects during medical school was psychiatry. People say, oh, did you do accounting? Did you do finance? My answer is no, I didn't. You can hire accountants. You can hire lawyers. You can hire professional people. Business is all about people. How do you get them to do what you want them to do? How do you reward them? How do you make them feel good about themselves? How do you get them to accept the direction? The self-made billionaires I've spoken with get up on average at 5:30 a.m. with some variation to it. They tell me there's no point in doing anything in life unless it's 100%. You might as well just go and do something else. Billionaire trait number 6, they make health important. Out of all 5 billionaires that I personally interviewed, none of them were smokers. Reading is, together with exercise, the activity that billionaires spend time on regularly. Almost all of the billionaires I spoke with named reading as one of the habits they follow daily. I spent the night at a billionaire's home in Missouri who had an incredible gym in his house. He went hiking and hunting on his massive estate. He was constantly active. Billionaire trait number 7, impeccable time management. Billionaire Chip Wilson approaches every day in a systematic way. Ask what is the first thing he does in his office. He says, I sit down and I think about the number 1 priority of the day. What is my goal to get done for that day? And I look at my calendar and go, okay, is my calendar right? Actually, I do this the night before, so I rearrange things. Then I go, has anything changed between last night and this morning, and what do I need to do? I need to actually insert it into my calendar to give it time to do it. I wake up every morning and do things I don't like to do. I force myself to do them every day because I am not hardworking. I force myself to do the hard work. I am not systematic, so I have to force myself to be systematic. Number 8, they take action. Not showing up to the opportunity can become extremely expensive. So you may think such opportunities never occur in your life, but think about it. How many opportunities have you missed in your life? How many opportunities have passed before your eyes that you haven't noticed? How many opportunities might exist right now that you're not aware of? Are you sure none of those could turn out to be billion-dollar opportunities? Most of my failures were failures to act. I think what you really need is good eyesight, not foresight, and not hindsight. Every one of us has great hindsight. I can tell you exactly what could have been done. Some people claim to have foresight, and I can tell you what's going to happen in the future. But I can tell you as a great entrepreneur, what you need is good eyesight. See what's right in front of you and be able to say, here's the opportunity. In addition, speed is important. Speed of action is a quality that most billionaires have. They follow the motto, act now and think later. It doesn't matter whether you're going to die in an airplane crash tomorrow or you're going to die 80 years from now. You've got to treat every day and every second as though you're going to only have one day to live, and there's no time to waste, especially talking to boring people or talking to complainers or people who aren't going to be great in life. There's only one life to live. Billionaire trait number 9, they take calculated risks. Australian billionaire Manny Stool says, you have to take risks to achieve something that's worthwhile. If you don't take some risk, then you're going to have moderate success, if any. Of course, you shouldn't exaggerate. Everything in moderation, but you've got to take risk. You've got to be prepared to accept risk. If it doesn't require risk, it's not an opportunity. Prepare to lose if you want to win. For him, progress in life is a learning process. If you don't take risk, you will never learn. You have to be willing to do something that might look stupid and might fail. One billionaire said, there's lots of failure along the way. It's part of the process. You can't be successful without having failures. It's not possible. The only people who don't make mistakes are the people that don't do anything. If you want to stay out of trouble, you can go and work for the government. Success is continuing to be willing to fail. Billionaire Jack Cowan's attitude is, if you have not had a few failures, you haven't tried enough. You've been slack. You've been lazy. So never look back. Don't dwell on failures. Instead, focus on what you can do now and improve the future. And finally, billionaire trait number 10, they persist. Failure only happens when you give up. Everything else is simply a pivot. There's no success without suffering. You have to suffer to succeed. Make tough decisions. If you think there's no end in sight on the road you're on, you have to get out. Of course, you have to be patient, but if you cannot see the light at the end of the tunnel, you have to cut your losses. It's difficult, but once you make the decision, you feel better. Billionaire Hunzo Onzigan goes on to say, in Turkish we have a saying, cut the arm. You know, the body doesn't go away. You have to cut the arm sometimes. Cut your losses if you can't win. Don't lie to yourself. Take the losses if there's no straight line to profit. Peter Hargrave stops a project immediately as soon as he realizes it won't work. American celebrity billionaire Mark Cuban says that business was an ultimate sport. It is played without end, without interruption, without rules, and there's always somebody who's going to try to knock you out. So if you want to win in this game, you can't afford to stop competing even for a second. In many sciences, scientists manage to explore something to its end and they're done. There is nothing similar in business. What works here is that as soon as you fall asleep, somebody's coming to eat you. It's impossible to say, okay, next year I'm fine. I'll feel good, but you can't feel relaxed at any time. And if you're interested in something, you can't tell the difference between work and play. If you're interested in it because you really like it, then it comes easy to you. Because if you don't enjoy it, eventually you'll fail. That's the most important thing, Cuban says, being able to identify where you belong, what makes you happy. The difference between financially successful people, millionaires, and financial super successful people, billionaires, boils down to the fact that the latter make pleasure in making money, but they don't enjoy spending it. The price of success is much lower than the price of failure. The success of life can only be measured by the degree of happiness you achieve. You'll have to fail many times before you succeed. So be willing to fail, but don't give up. Persevere and keep fighting. Don't be afraid to be different. Do not conform. Your passion will enable you to work hard for many years on the way to your dreams and overcome all the obstacles. Please click like, subscribe, and share this video with others. Thanks for watching. This is The Business Guy.